Morning.
Good morning.
First class. See everybody. Lou back. Feeling better. Praying for you last week.
Hey, guys.
This morning we're going to hear from Byron, who's going to do a year review of financial planning and some things he's brought before the last 2 times he's presented. So looking forward to that. Present and learn a ton. So let me open us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
I just want to say, our global magazine, which is the first one for educators, it's a lifestyle magazine. Our winter edition is coming out. If you'd like to send me a virtual, or if you'd like to get a virtual copy, give me your business card and I'll make sure to get on the list.
All right, thank you. All right.
Lord, just ask you to come be with us this morning. We ask you to fill our hearts and our minds with thoughts about you. Pray that you would lead us into your light, lead us into the things that we need to be thinking about, and Holy Spirit led about our businesses, about our next steps, about things that are going on in our personal life. Just pray that you bless each person in this room, each person on Zoom, and that you would lead us this day. Pray for Byron in his presentation, and we pray this all in your mighty, powerful name.
Amen.
Thank you so much. And so, welcome. Good to see you, Lou. And we pray for everybody that couldn't make it today. Or pray, some folks we haven't seen in a while. We pray that Lord God, everything is going good. So good to be back. Good to be in front of you. We shared a real quick video. This just came out maybe about within the past week. World Financial Group looked over all the numbers, went through all the compliance, put a video together for us. I just kind of want to share the big picture. There's a number I want you guys to write down. It's called 1946, right? So if you think about where our economy is, retirement planning, and all this kind of stuff, the baby boom generation, they say it's 1946 to 1964. So if you look at when you do, for example, 2011 minus 1946, get a number 65, right? So we're in a big wealth wave in this country. They call it the largest wealth wave in history, right? The money is where it's moving.
Is it transfer or creation?
Transfer.
Yeah.
Right? Because legally, when someone passes away and things like that, they're all, obviously we're going to the next life. All of us have that plan already structured, right? But their wealth has to transfer. And so there's an article you can read in CNBC. If you just Google 68 trillion, and then put CNBC, you'll see the article, right? 68 trillion, you'll see the article itself. This is our year review. World Financial Group, as I told you guys before, it's an entrepreneur platform for all business owners, individual, independent contractors. And here's how it all turned out for you. Big events, right? So our company funds and they make sure we get a lot of training. information it's showtime, right? And so a lot going on in our country right now from a financial standpoint. There's a movie that I sent out to my agents, right, that is spread across the United States, and I'll share this with you guys. It's called The Power of XERO. The tax train is coming. The tax train is coming, right? And there's another one out that just came out about a month ago. And it's one of, I think it's going to be a theater, believe it or not. It's called The Baby Boom Dilemma, right? And it's kind of something that kind of ties into this movie right here. But the tax train is coming. And so we got to educate our friends and our families and our neighbors about the risk is on. It's totally on based on what is happening in our country. And it's based on aging. Let's say, for example, if you needed to cover all of the senior citizens for just $1,000 a month in benefits, do you know how much money that is? Billions. Billions in $1,000 a month in payments to seniors, right? And we have a wave of 78 million that are all falling into retirement. 10,000 people retired.
Wait, 10,000 return every calendar day.
Every calendar day. Every calendar day. Okay, here we go. So let's get it going. Obviously, Byron Kelly here. I'm a marketing director, financial professional, retired Navy chief. I love this quote here by A.P. Giannini, founder of Transamerica. Serving the needs of others is the only legitimate business today. So, as you know, as I say every time I come out, I am not an advisor and I am not an attorney, right? So if you want to take on equity risk, you go see a financial advisor. That is not my lane. Okay, I'm a non-securities financial professional. What does that mean? We offer guarantees, right? We deal with the insurers in the country, right?
Proper guarantee.
Guarantees. We offer guarantees, okay? Backed by the strongest insurers in the nation. And so, obviously, if you got a tax question, you go see your CPA or your accountant and things like that. That's not my lane, but office address, my license number, and then I'm licensed in 26 other states. So, some of you know my history, retired Navy chief. My new title is family man, right? An entrepreneur.
Where's that picture? Where's the picture taken?
Back of North Island.
Oh, you North Island's on the beach, or the
Yeah.
background is the beach?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. The beach was in the background. It was a good day. Good day to say so long.
Oh, I know.
But, definitely, it was a powerful day.
It was time to go.
Time to go. Time to check out. But it's a beautiful day. And so this is an amazing thing that happened to me. Here's Byron Kelly, pre-Navy, right? Standing there in the front. You see these guys on the freeway all the time. You see some blue hats, a white van alongside the freeway, picking up weeds and stuff like that. It's the California Conservation Board. A lot of folks thought we were inmates, believe it or not.
You look like that.
California Conservation Board, right? So I did things like down in Luna Hills, we went down there from the floods back in the 90s and stuff like that. But the funny thing happened was I was doing a job career fair, and I run into my supervisor from pre-Navy, right here in San Diego, down off of not Maine, but Palm in Chula Vista, in that area. We were doing at a church, doing a event, and so I was able to actually give back. I went and spoke to all the California Conservation Board right here off the National City by the 54. That's where the headquarters is at. Just from running into my old supervisor. Small world, right? So I love giving back. And so you guys know my story as far as within my family, right? I'm very passionate about getting this education out and teaching people about these chronic illnesses, critical illness, terminal illness, and happening covered, have your family covered from age 0 on up, right? But that's these folks right here are my family members. They're all in ICU. My granddaughter is 4 years old today. That's the top picture. She was 3 at the time. But that happened in COVID. The same year as COVID. Almost 2020. She 1 diabetes. Sugars were like 700 or something, you know what I mean? Way out there. But she was in ketoacidosis. And then my son, he's 30, same thing. Diabetic, right? Diabetic. So he's 30 today, but his started at age 6. So when I was brand new in the Navy, 2 years in the Navy, I think. And then here's my nephew. Exact same thing. You can't make this up. Type 1 diabetes, right? Age 13, chronic illness. And so I teach people to start covering your children at age 0. As soon as they get the Social Security card, I'm telling you what the will do. They put permanent life insurance policies on the kids. Because our country is very pre-existing conditions don't get treated fairly. You know what I mean? So take care of your kids ASAP, and they can use that permanent policy to go to college. Believe it or not. We're gonna learn this stuff, right? And then obviously this is a very tragic story. Here's my other niece and my nephew, but that's their sister. She was killed on the 15 freeway up by Yermo, they call it. Is it Yermo? I think Yermo. On your way to Vegas, you can't miss it. You go to Victorville, in Barstow, little town called Yermo, but her car had broke down in the freeway at fast lane at 5 a.m. in January. It's dark, 5 a.m. in January, and the car was still in the freeway. And her and a little 3-year-old nephew and her stepbrother, they got out of the car, believe it or not, and they made it to the call box. And the brother and the little 3-year-old were taking a pee in the bushes. And she got hit at the call box. The car was still in the freeway. The cars were trying to miss her car as part of the fast lane program. And so this is another reason I'm passionate about teaching people. And so strength and credibility. We always talk about this. Anytime you're dealing with your finances and your wealth and your future and your retirement, you want to make sure you're dealing with a strong and stable company. Aegon, right? One of the 9 too big to fail companies in the world, obviously on earth. Aegon is the first European insurer to list on the New York Stock Exchange as far as trading. Aegon, AEG, that's their ticker, AEG. They bought Transamerica for $9.9 billion in 2009. And then we're part of World Financial Group. We're the marketing leg of Transamerica. And then I'm on a team out of Silicon Valley. Everybody knows everything about Silicon Valley. Pinnacle Elite, right? Pinnacle Elite, in those numbers that we just saw in the video, 1 year ago, 40 million. 2021, 120 million in growth. Went from 40 million to 120. Wow.
40 million what? 40
In sales
Why is it?
to 120 million in 1 year. Wow, that's Pinnacle Elite, and it's all about this wealth plan, right? Folks have retirement portfolios they need to protect. They got assets they need to protect. And it's a wave of them. As I said a moment ago, 10,000 retired every day. It's more than, it's like 10,800.
Wealth transfer, yes. It's a generational change of wealth.
Yes,
I thought we were living forever.
we're leaving this place, right? But we want to do it the right way, right? We want to make sure we transfer it and we protect it, especially now. The market is down like 6 months, all in. And so we talk about timing is everything, right, in our company. There's a flow, and there's the dates, right? 1946 to 1964, 78 million people were born. And so back then, the baby boom was an issue, right? Right? And then it went into toys, and we know all the stories. Hasbro, Mattel, Fisher Price, right? G.I. Joe, Barbie, and then it was fast food, right? McDonald's and Hardee's and all that stuff came out. Wendy's, Jack in the Box. Think about it. And it was to support the baby boom generation. And then the car industry, right? Detroit was a motor city. We know this to be a fact. And then it moved into real estate, right? I recall, I think we talked about it maybe 6 months ago. My mom bought a house in 1981, and the interest rates were like 13% back then. 13%, right?
More than that.
Right. More than that, somebody said. Yeah. But I recall my mom buying this house.
Big enough though.
Yeah, exactly. Microphone.
I remember in, I guess, late 70s, real estate interest on a house was 18 to 21%.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh. Uh-oh. That's a That's big. That's buy a house. Oh man. going through it. Now I know. I didn't know back then, but now I know, right? We got this 2%, 3%, maybe 4% nowadays. But here's the topic of the day for that generation, it's retirement. And they said, if you know what they need before they know they need it, prepare to get wealthy, right? That's why some of these companies are coming out and supporting baby boomers right now. So if you'd like a chance to be wealthy in your lifetime, wouldn't it obviously make sense to be in the right place at the right time? And so let's talk about this. In my industry, and I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, the financial industry is not very, we say, like sexy, right? It was Google, Amazon, technology, all these stuff, Tesla, right? Silicon Valley. So there's been a whole generation that's with tech. There's no one coming into the financial industry to go support these baby boomers, right? So there's a supply and demand issue in the field right now, literally. So they said about a third of our industry is obviously retiring. They've been supporting the people that they're retiring with, right? They're leaving the industry too. And so we need 200,000, and that's a short number.
You mean, Byron, you're saying you need 200,000 people in the field to support the
population.
Absolutely.
So
And that's
reps, you need, okay, you need leaders, you need, squad leaders, platoon leaders, everybody,
definitely in the lead.
whatever that sounds like.
I love it. But no, we do need leaders, right? Obviously, we got to develop them, get them licensed, get them trained, get them credentialed, get them certified, right? To go out and serve families financially. And so it's a package, right? But World Financial Group has been supporting that mission for 20 years, since 2001. And so you guys know the history. This is what we do, right? We bring to the marketplace what's called the power of choice. We do all of these things. 401k rolls, IRA rolls, right? TSP for the military. We'll roll that money over so you can stop losing thousands and tens of thousands and 20,000 and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? We'll help you protect that money and then grow it. Life insurance, obviously, long-term care, again, that's a hot topic. My mom passed away at 54, but from age 50 to 54, she needed support, right? She didn't have a long-term care policy, right? And she had heart, basically her heart got weak. She had open heart surgery in Houston. Thank God, Kaiser, believe it or not, I want to give them a shot, but Kaiser Permanente, Hollywood, flew my mom medevac to Houston, to the Methodist Hospital. We didn't pay a dime for it, right? We didn't pay anything for it to give her open heart surgery. But we got a couple more years out of my mom through that whole ordeal, right? And we didn't pay for it. And that was a blessing, right? And but that long-term care, she needed that support, and she needed that funding that she didn't have, right? We do have New York Life, we have AIG, we got Crump, we have a lot of them. Yes. Over 77 companies. And so college planning, obviously, there's more than the 529. I know I talked about this before, but pretty much the banks push out 529, 529. That's okay. The wealthy use life insurance, just so you know, right? But it's permanent life insurance, IULs.
What is the 529?
That's a college savings plan. So it's tax free, like 401k, 457. It's a tax free. And so, but there's more than one way. So I would say skin cat, right? But the wealthy are doing something totally different from the rest of us. Then obviously we talked about index universal life a number of times, right? That's a flagship product in the market today. And then fixed index annuities, FIA. When you hand that money over to an insurer, it's fixed. Your principal is guaranteed. And then as all the growth grows in the index strategy, they pour concrete on top of that money that grew. And then it grows another year, and they put concrete on top of it and keep growing. There's no more dips in your money. It's a big deal. Executive bonus plans, and that's for everybody in the room. You're business owners, we can definitely design those for you. And then obviously legacy planning, right? Let's make sure we pass our wealth to our family the way we design it. Because if not, I think Craig had told me a couple weeks ago, you'll get some help with that, right? So the states and the courts will decide your legacy for you. Right?
By the way, that's true, folks. You have to have a will, you have to plan. It's unfortunate, but if you don't plan this,
If you have to have a will, folks, you really do. You also have to designate an executor, because if you don't, the state will have, they'll designate the executor for you. They have what they call a public guardian. And so, and guess what? If you want somebody to dissipate your funds, vote in the military, vote in the state.
Yeah.
I had an uncle that was a disabled public ward for the military, World War II. And he had quite a bit of assets. Guess what? They ran through his assets like there was no tomorrow. I mean, it was a disgrace. So that's a friggin' disgrace. So one, have a will, have an executive. Don't be what they call intestate. It's not legal advice.
Yes, hey, you know, in our industry, we call it, it's called disinheritance. So instead of inheritance, you don't mess everything up, right? And a lot of times it happens in a split of a moment, because you can have a stroke. Now you're getting incapacitated, right? You can get in a major accident. Now you're incapacitated.
Not that I have to tell you, there was a very famous politician, local politician, who had a sister that had a stroke. She didn't have a durable poverty, she didn't have the basics, folks.
and do you understand, they couldn't access,
Her funding, it's amazing.
you're so well, they're gonna have somebody
Who's
who's
gonna help her? It doesn't work that way. No durable poverty. The hospital didn't want to talk to the family because they didn't have a durable power of attorney or healthcare directive to understand. So it happens when you least expect it. I've seen it. It's a disaster, folks. It's a disaster. If you haven't done a little bit of prior planning.
What we like to say is we talk about things happening on an ordinary day, just an ordinary day. It's just an ordinary day, right? In your life, right? So we want to like take this stuff very serious and get it in place. Right? This is a big deal. So those are just a very small snapshot of some of the companies that are in our platform. What does that mean for you as consumers in your permit? We're not happy. What you need is what you get. We're not going to come in and try to fit a size 9, shoe on a size 5, right? We're not going to do things like that. Whatever you need is what you get. That's the big deal. So we're not happy. This is the premier term life. So some folks say, permanent life insurance it costs too much monthly. You probably want to pick this one up. This was in Forbes, gave us the 5 stars out of all the companies in the United States on the low cost entry level term life insurance. Why? Because it covers all 3. Chronic illness, terminal illness, and critical illness, right? So if you need open heart surgery, you need a transplant, things like that, you're going to get that benefit accelerated. Instead of worrying about wiping out your retirement and all your savings and your emergency, so you can battle your health and fight for your health to have a healthier life, you can access your death benefit. There is no term in the state of California that does all 3. I'm telling you, it's fact. Chronic, critical, and terminal illness. There's one company in California that does all 3.
All right, can you explain that? Because term life insurance is generally a death. It's a death benefit.
Exactly.
So tell me how this works. I've never seen this.
It's called living benefits, and I can put on a video for you guys if there's time, but it's called living benefits. So what they do is they accelerate that death benefit. So if you say you got $1 million policy, you can accelerate 24% in 12 months.
I mean, you basically prepay.
No, they'll pull part of that death benefit out and cut you a check.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean? So, but if you have a chronic or critical illness, they'll do it twice. 12 months, you get another 24%. Doctor says, hey, still battling, 24%, right? But if you're terminal, the whole thing, they'll accelerate the whole death benefit, right? Doctor says you have 12 months or less to live, accelerate the whole death benefit. That's game changer for families, because you can get your financial house in order.
Are you saying that it's only $1 million policy, term life insurance, right?
Term,
$1 million premium.
pay premium, yep, get qualified, you gotta qualify for it.
12 months. Terminal fund, they can help.
They can help you, absolutely. There's a reason Forbes gives this a 5-star.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm just saying, that's the difference. That's what we bring to the table.
Byron, how do you qualify? What are the
Yes.
parameters of that?
Basically, anytime you apply for life insurance, it's, what's your health history, boom, 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 right? That kind of stuff. They're getting away from the labs and the blood work, right now, because COVID and all that. They can see, like the insurers, they can see the back office. They can see your prescription, all that. You can't hide it. You say, I'm not taking it. They can see it, trust me, right? They got access to this stuff. But you just have to go through the qualifications. Yeah.
How do I get the
Contact me, right? And I've been towards here, but you guys know my website. And I just want you to know. This is, because you're not gonna get this in your job.
By the way, I want to thank Carlos at EFC for bringing you up because again, repetition. We're all a little bit thick-headed and it has to be the drip method, so you kind of pick it up. So thank you for your presentation.
You're welcome. I'm serious. Well, jobs are starting to offer like critical illness, right? But you have to look at it. What does it say? 25,000 cap. That's a whole lot different from 24% of $1 million or $2 million or 500,000. Look at the fine print. So we tell people, bring me your policy and I'll look over it and I'll tell you what you got, right? It's a totally different game.
So Byron, one question.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say somebody signs up this year and it's $1 million policy, it's what you just explained. And next year they have an issue, let's say they have let's say it's terminal. Would that kick in after only a year of investing in that?
Yes, because you only have 12 months of that.
What are your comparisons here with the premiums on $1 million versus somebody else?
Transamerica is known for having some of the lowest rates, right? But when it comes to term with living benefits, it's not the commercials you see on TV, right? Call us and it's, $5 for, that's not going to happen. It's a small percentage more than the average term, right? Based on your age and your health and things like that. It's reasonable. It's not like way super real deal. And I can get you a quote any day. And so here's some of, we call this our money menu, right? Our old money menu. We have the estate planning. This is our firm, literally. Debt America, people got tax problems, they got debt problems over 10,000. We have Debt America and Optima Tax. Liberty, if you really need health insurance, we got Liberty, Umbrella, right? Building cash flow, the $1 million baby, that's the IUL for babies. $1 million baby, that's what it's called in our industry, the $1 million baby program, right? That's not a 529. Everest Funeral Concierge, that is a big deal. This company here, say you want to be buried in Spain, they'll help your family get your body to Spain, right? Wherever you want to be. Something happens, you're on vacation, they'll help get your body back to your family, wherever you need to be. International company, Everest, in their platform, right? The term of living benefits, I just talked about that. That was the previous slide. Return of premiums, and that's for folks who say, I just don't like life insurance. So I'm gonna pay these premiums, I get nothing back, right? There's something called ROP. You can get your premiums back, right? Literally, do a whole life policy. One is with Gerber, there's a little picture right there, a little baby on the right, and then one's with Everest, right? They have what's called return of premium. Typically, the return premium comes in when you start off and you had bad health, right out of the gate, right? They'll still cover you. Gerber's is set up where it's 24 months. So 24 months of premium, if you obviously live, God says you do, you live past 24 months, then the whole life kicks in. It's an actual full underwritten policy, right? With Everest, it's 36 months. If you do your return of premiums, if you pass away at 33 months, 21 months, they'll give you the premiums back to your family with 10% added. So we do Gerber, we do the IULs, we do the FIAs, legacy planning, right? Key man insurance, executive plans, and then obviously the long-term care. We do it all. And so, wow, you guys remember this screen right here? I'm about to wrap it up. But this is what we're doing. We're teaching family A what family B is doing, right? You see some things that just, they don't line up, right? Obviously, the income is obvious, but family B, there's always a business owner in the home. One or two business owners in the family. Index accounts, meaning all your principals always protected going forward, right? Not in the seesaw, right? They love permanent life insurance. And you saw the video a couple weeks ago. Remember that? Ed Slot, CPA, talking about buying life insurance because it's the best tax code in the United States. CPA Ed Slot. That's why they do it. You got your homeowners, apartment complexes. They own plenty of real estate. They're very well diversified portfolio, debt free, except the smart, right? The gut debt. They know how to leverage debt to make millions of billions, right? And then maximize tax advantages. I always refer back to candidate Clinton, candidate Trump, right? Candidate Clinton says, this man hasn't paid a penny in taxes. You guys recall that?
Yeah,
You remember that? And what did he say?
I have a good account.
He just said, that makes me smart, right? Right. One election. But maximize tax advantages. Carlos, and we talked about this before.
By the way,
Congress writes tax codes for all of us, for everyone in here. But the wealthy are taking advantage of the tax code. That's the difference, right? They're going to see the financial professionals. They're going to see the CPA. They have an advisor, right? They got all these folks. They got attorneys and everybody that's helping them with it.
Yeah, listen, you actually have to be smart, start a whole business, stuff like that, you know, so you can get tax deductions. Congress writes the tax code, and they're all business owners, and they're all property owners, and so they put in all the loopholes.
And invest.
And invest.
Right, they do. And so, it's a small percentage of the population. So what we say is, most people don't plan to fail, they just don't plan. And we're here to help them plan, help you go, help you strategize. That's our role in society.
Oh, yes.
I know you're not a financial advisor, let me make that clear. Right. How much money do you need to have to go to a financial advisor?
It depends on the company, but we usually say it's around 1,500 for a one session.
I mean, how much money do you need to have?
Oh, you're talking money?
Yeah.
Some are $250,000, some are 500,000. So if you've ever seen, I won't say the company name, but if you watch like Fox Business Journal or CNBC, you'll see the commercial. It says $500,000 mortgage. I'm not gonna say the name of the
you
company.
mean inequity,
In assets. He said in assets. You can call us.
Yeah.
So for everybody underneath, figure it out, right?
There's Byron.
I was kind of also asking, I mean, if you have $50,000 in your bank, is that the amount needed to go to a financial advisor? You wouldn't go to a financial advisor if you only had $10,000, would you?
Most will not sit down.
Right, so what is the amount that a financial advisor will sit down?
Some are $250,000, some are 500,000.
So if you don't even have over $100,000, don't bother going.
Most of the time, unless you have a family friend or family member that's in the industry, you're probably not gonna be. It is what it is, right? And so that's another reason we're building the distribution to those families. Any more questions? We have 5 minutes, but I pray that someone said deepen the impression. That's what we want to do. I did pretty much our original presentation today because yesterday, Saturday, for about 2 hours, I was on clients Zoom, and it was pretty heavy hitting, right? Because this industry is really, there's a lot of folks, there's a lot of gimmicks, there's a lot of things going on in the financial markets. You cannot play with people's money. It's a serious matter.
When it comes to life insurance, I know you mentioned earlier about as soon as the baby's born, get life insurance, right? How old can you go in and buy that life insurance for that child if you haven't bought it at birth? How old can you do it at any time during their life, or is it specific?
You can do it at any time, but if the child is turned 18, for example, the child will now have to sign on the policy, right? So if they're over 18, they've got to e-sign just like you. Right? If they're under 18, mom and dad. And I did it for my grandkids, right? All three of them, so, yeah.
Byron, quick question. Do you have any platform for educating and teaching young people this next generation coming up?
We have, on individual contractor level, there's people out in the field, right, that are doing it. But in our company, I wouldn't say we do. There's a book out there, it's called, How Money Works, Don't Be a Sucker. And it's in a cartoon version, but it's really for adults, believe it or not. And that's called How Money Works, Don't Be a Sucker. They have a green lollipop for the center of the book, right? And that's written by Steve Seabolt, he's an author, and I forget the exact name, but they're over the East Coast, around Atlanta and stuff like that. But on the child level, I would say no. Great question. We may need some help with that. So thank you, everybody.
I know an educator who's here, who can actually help you.
I'm picking up what you put down.
Yeah, I like, by the way, that is actually brilliant. That's a brilliant idea. I want 5% of the referral fee.
That train is coming. It is coming.
All right.
It's real good. Guy over here with the CPA, would say.
And by the way, Sue, my, dear friend of mine, who's also my CPA, has a curriculum. His name's Alan Myers. I can give anybody the information they need, but it's a curriculum specifically for people interested in kind of a rudimentary understanding of how money works.
Are they distributed? Have a distribution?
He will to anybody who's interested.
Okay.
It's not in a very formal form, but I can talk about it. Thank you, already.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you, Byron.
The reason I'm asking is that I was always looking for a way to educate my own children as they went through college. And I'm astounded that there's no college courses or high school courses or anything else on how you buy a car, how you buy a house, interest
Right.
rate forms and all of that. One of my kids did some stock markets, investor money, funny money, right, in the class and see how it grows. But there's a real need for that.
Right now, I mean, if you watch CNBC this October, they have what's called Aegon, right? They're promoting Aegon, but they're teaching all the kids to go invest before they build a foundation. You have to build a foundation. If you get sick, if you get T-bone and all that kind of stuff, it's a wrap. Your family is going to be compromised on that, right? So we're teaching kids to just go invest. And they're not learning the foundation. You gotta teach the foundation first, right?
100%. So thank you so much for Byron.
You got it, Byron.
We're just gonna have before Rich tell us a little bit about what you're gonna talk about.
And we're gonna talk about customer complaints.
It's not,
You know how this changed?
you mean it's not drug, sex, and rock and roll?
Well, we can get that. Yeah. So, before that, also too, one little thing I was gonna touch on too, is that when is the time to expand? Things are going well, there's a little bit of that too. When time to expand? To grow.
Right, because you can't put the cart before the horse.
Right.
I've done that before. Yeah,
So, and how customer, it's really changed with the yellow, how you deal with it, how to get it off the board, how to see maybe a storm coming, being able to let it off first. Yeah.
And I brought the brochure to the back for that term with living benefits. Third back.
Let's give Byron a big hand. Yeah!
And one last thing, I'll give a shout out to Mark, those delicious. It's amazing. And I like the barbecue sauce next to Kinder's, who sells gazillion different brands. You go to Sprouts, you can find out Michelle Claus. And yours is better. So, I'm a sauce person. So.
You have another version coming out, made with agave.
Yeah, wow.
It's made with agave.
Maybe we're not. All right, let's just pray real quick. Lord, thank you for being with us. Thank you for loving us and caring for us. We pray for anyone here that has issues, illness, recovery, and pray for Kathy of her injury, and just ask your healing touch to be upon them. And we pray for you.
Amen.
Yeah, God.